now to rebel against the system, you will be a victim all your life. But if you can rebel now, trust me, and you have an account balance of 1 million, the possibility that you'll be poor again in this life, it's close to zero. You know why? That 1 million you have, you know how you got it.
And
Yeah,
yes, and also it can be a basis or a starting point to create generational wealth.
of course.
Because now that you've made it, you're gonna help and advise your kids, then your relatives.
What should one do, or how should one approach if they were to happen on a sudden financial windfall? Where in a situation where maybe something happens and you find yourself with a lot of money overnight. Maybe a grandfather, once I did something and made an investment, and then they call you out of the blue that the investment is now matured, and now here you are seated with $10 million. How should you respond? Or you win a lottery or a jackpot, you have all this money. What is the right approach? What should you do? And to discuss this tonight, I have with me here Clarence and Apollos. And we're going to be sharing with you. And of course, as we discuss along the line, if you have questions, you can leave it for us in the comment sections, and we'll be sure to answer it. So welcome, Clarence and Apollos.
Thank you, Pastor.
You can speak to.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you.
First and foremost, before we begin, Pastor said 10 million. Is it US dollars or Namibian dollars?
Let's do South African rands.
South African.
Yeah, it's a bit more popular. South African rands. 10 million rands.
10 million rands. Wow, it's a lot of money. A lot of people will really be overwhelmed by it. Me personally, in my case, the first thing I will do is, I'll probably resign and sit at home and start making plans. And say, how am I gonna go about making more money from this $10 million? Because once you have money, then only can you make money.
Okay. So you resign?
I will resign, Pastor. I will definitely resign. Because looking at it, if it's 10 million, my pension won't even reach 10 million because
that's after you've worked for the next 30 years.
Yes, currently I'm 33, which means I'm left with plus minus 27 years. Yeah, so in 27 years, I will not be able to make that 10 million. So first and foremost, I will work for myself so I can multiply that money.
Okay, that's nice. You resign. That's yes. What will you do?
I'll probably buy a few GTIs.
Okay.
No, that's a complete joke. No, I think for me personally, I'd like take a step back and rather go back to the idea of seeking first the kingdom of God, and then all these things will flow then unto you. So I believe that like every man or every person is supposed to have some sort of purpose or mission. And I then probably believe that for that requires a lot of planning and preparation and putting things in place so that whenever this windfall, it doesn't have to be a 10 million. There's a lot of small windfalls we get from day to day.
Yeah.
And the question is, how are we managing that already? So that when that windfall comes, you're able to wisely employ it. So I don't per se right now have a like perfect answer or an answer that would fit everyone. But yeah, seek ye first the kingdom of God, I guess. And yeah, you will be guided.
Okay. That's fine. But I think I have a little bit of a concern with the approach you take when you said I'll resign and sit back home to plan. So that kind of suggests that we are really not hoping for any kind of windfall. Right? Because I think that from time to time, people should have this kind of thought and do what we call scenario planning. Right? You don't really have to in scenario planning. What to do is you put yourself in a situation and plan your response. Do you understand? So, for example, I said, well, what will I do if I get a $10 million or 10 million rands now? And then I'll try to plan as though the money is with me now. Right? And have such kind of scenario plans so that when in the event where that kind of things happen and I find myself with this much money, because of the scenario planning I've done, I already know what it is that I'm supposed to do.
Now, Pastor, what if this kind of windfall, it's something unexpected. It's something that you did not do scenario planning with. Just like it hits you instantly, like a boom.
But once why I'm saying that is this. Actually, the way life works is certain things can never happen to you until it first cross your mind. For example, to get this 10 million rand now, you may not have anything today that can connect with 10 million rand. But if you start entertaining the thoughts, right? You start thinking about it and doing like things I said like scenario planning. So some way, something from you will begin to make provision for such opportunities to happen to you. The thing is this, like, I like what you said when you say sense of mission. A sense of mission already will have given you a particular direction in life, right? And you're like, okay, this is who I want to be and where I want to go. Mean that whatever happened along the way will help you to achieve the ultimate aim for your life. But in the event where you have no aim like that, and a windfall comes and you have this 10 million rand overnight, okay, you've resigned, and then you are now home.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that people don't factor in is that money is powerful. You see, you don't know what you can do today until just such amount of money enter your life.
Yes, but okay, but Pastor, in that case, as a young man or as a person growing up, you knowing where you come from, the struggles that you have to overcome, the challenges, the difficulties, knowing how, like I'm from Koreas, how it looks like, what your parents are going through, what your sisters, your brothers, and then you as that inner child, something inside you, like there's always those things that you really wanted. So the moment when you have time, you can really sit and you can exploit those ideas and you can plan accordingly how to execute those things.
Yeah.
So the problem will come is if you are at home and you don't have anything to do, you will become, you will start abusing that money.
Yeah.
But like for instance, in my case, knowing how I grew up, where I came from, how I had to work to get where I am. If this 10 million comes, first and foremost, this money must be used firstly to improve my life. Okay. And then secondly, those around me. Okay. And all of those who have contributed towards me, or all of those who have given me an advice, or there was even a place where you just needed, there was a time when you needed a place to sleep. So I have 3 or 4 business ideas, or, now you can really start to use that time to implement those ideas and to use that money to fund your business ideas, because you were thinking about things as a youngster or growing up, but there was just no money for you to try this. But now that you have that, and then if you can afford yourself enough time, you can now start to plan those things and you can put those plans into action, because whatever you can conceive, you can achieve.
Okay, so I'll get to that. So now, while you are doing this planning, where would the money be? Where should the money be while you're planning all of this?
The first thing I will do is most probably I'll put it in a call account or a unit trust.
Okay.
And then the interest that the money will generate on a monthly basis will already be more than enough. It is already more than enough. It's already more than my salary. So once I'm planning, I'm already eating the interest that I'm receiving on that money.
Okay, that's cool.
Quick question.
That's cool because it's a 10% return on investment on $10 million, 10 million rand invested. You're looking at about somewhere in the vicinity of 50,000 or more, or 100,000. 100,000, right? Somewhere there. That's quite an amount, huh? A month. A month. That's quite
yes, exactly. So you don't really have to dive into it. You must be cautious in your approach.
So what you have said is because what I wanted to hear first was the fact that money should not sit down in your accounts while you are trying to brainstorm, because anything you move now, you're going to take out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually, before you go, I actually want to ask on what you said. You said a call account
Yeah.
or a unit trust.
Yeah.
Isn't a call account money you have immediate access to?
Of course.
So that one's the problem.
No.
Okay, when I was younger, I'll just say, when I was younger, I always used to, I used to always watch these YouTube videos and see it all the time. All these people that won lotteries and they blew it all the time.
Yeah.
So I used to ask myself, what makes me think I'm so special? I might not do the same. So the idea at that point in time that I came up with was, you know what, ne? If that money comes and I wasn't prepared, just like put it somewhere where I can't touch it for 1 year. Like, it's impossible for me to access it.
A year might be too long, but
as an example.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But is it?
no, I know what you say. You know,
Yeah,
like I
but-
said, that money is powerful. When you have money, it can make you do things you don't even believe you will do.
But unfortunately, these banking systems and the mobile apps, the internet banking,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the things are designed in a way
Yeah.
that you don't have to go inside the branch or you don't have to call your banker anymore. Whether it's in a fixed term account or whether it's in a current account,
access
you
it
can access your money
anywhere, anytime.
And yes, that's the problem nowadays. The only thing that might stop you from that is like if it's a fixed term deposit, then once you say pay out or transfer whatever, it will pop up a penalty fee, and you might be I can't be paying that money.
but
I'll rather wait.
Chief
but
penalty fees don't work. Me have withdrawn with those penalty fees. Seeing them like this.
Yeah. No, but at 10 million, the penalty will not move you. It will be nothing. Because when you have 10 million, a $200 penalty or $200 penalty will not stop you.
What if they say it's a 10% penalty?
No, it's unlikely. That would be robbery.
As an example.
It's very
But
unlikely.
if you can put on your investment account in a way that every month the interest that was generated must be
Yeah.
paid to my current account, so I
Yeah.
can receive it as a salary.
Yep.
Then you don't really have to touch your money.
That's a serious approach. Like, you just invest the money and that's it. You just work on your return on investment, and
Yes, and you are receiving a monthly salary.
that's cool. That's cool. But you see, one of the reasons why I thought we should discuss this is because of that power that money has. You see, there are many people who win lottery. At the end of the day, end up in jail, and people ask them, "Why did you do this?" And even them can tell you, "Say, I don't know."
So basically, the money overpowered them.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe a couple of years ago there was one of our businessmen in Namibia who said, "I have more than X amount of money in my bank account. I'm richer than God."
You can imagine that.
Is he alive?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. How's he doing now?
He's doing good.
No, you see, those kind of things can
Statements.
happen to people because even that man will not know how he arrived at that point. That is the power that money has, right? So it's always important, like you said. What I would advise anybody to do is, whether or not you have a windfall, learn about what to do with money. Like, you see, you know about unit trust, you know about fixed deposit and all of this stuff, right? If you didn't know about them, then the money is going to be in your account first. And as long as that money is in your account, it's not safe. Even you are not safe. Right? And so if you learn about investment, you learn about the different investment vehicles, like the unit trust, the bonds, money markets, and what do you call it? This thing that Bank of America sell.
On those
Treasury
bonds.
bills.
Yeah,
Bonds,
bond,
bills.
treasury bills.
Treasury
You learn about all of these things so that when the money comes, the right approach is first keep the money, like you said, either invested in a unit trust or in one of those things where you don't have immediate access to, while you recollect yourself and try to process the whole thing and see what you can do, right? Because as soon as like you said, in a unit trust, just get the profit to your account as salary while you think. Right? And if you cannot even think, it's okay, you can forget the money, invest it. Yeah, because like you said, there are not many people who will earn 100,000 rands in this country. Not many. If you earn that much, you are in the 1% of the high paid individuals in the country. Right? And for you to earn that much and not having to wake up every morning, cracking up, you trying to get to an office and do, I think that's cool, right? So that's the right thing I think you should do. Put the money away, get something on it, but not touching the money itself while you try to think.
But Pastor, does it have to do with does it have to do with financial discipline, or is it in much as like you having that desire or that business plan or that whatever triggers you, something, that thing that you always wanted to become, or is it the thing that you were never exposed to real money and it just happens? And
but you see, when you get such amount of money and you go into business, you're going to lose the money. You know why? You're not a business person. You know many people believe they can do business, but you see, it takes a whole set of skill to be a business person. We can say that I say, well, when I get the money, I'm going to do real estate. Have you ever done it before? No, you will lose your money. The right thing to do, if that's what I tell people, like, if look at statistics where somebody worked all his life, at 60 years retire, get a pension, and goes into business. And usually they always lose the money. You know why they lose the money? They are not business people. The emotional maturity, the temperament, the kind of mental toughness it requires to succeed in business, you don't have it as an employee. Just I'm saying, if you are already a business person and that money comes, obviously it will amplify you. Why? Because you've learned some skills. And actually, what the major skill people need to succeed in business is not about buying and selling. It is being able to manage your emotion. Are you fully?
yes, Pastor.
That is the major part of being a business person.
Yes, and mostly also to get your emotions out of the way.
The way.
Because once you did an investment,
yes,
and then this deal for whatever reason does not want to pay out.
Yeah.
So instead of you being emotional, what you can do is try to investigate or do whatever research you have to do. Say, okay, what is the best way I can do to at least to recover my money?
Yeah.
So I did not make profit. There's no prospect of success in this business. But the least I can do is not to lose my money. So back. Let me try and recover what I put in this money, and I can restart.
But in the case where you lose the money, should you die? That's where that emotional maturity and mental toughness that you can see in a company, for example, where you're working. You and the owner of the company may look like both of you are men. But what separates you is far more than qualification. The sacrifice that it takes to build a business, the CEO of a company will never know. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes,
so most people was like, no, when I get this money, I'm going to go into business. And I said, you are going to lose the money. And they're like, how? What do you mean? I said, because you are not a business person.
Okay, but Pastor, in that case, take the 10 million, divide it in half.
No, invest the 10 million, go learn business. If that's what you want to do.
Okay, but once you decide to do business, they say there's a saying that goes, never put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So take the 10 million, divide it in half. Take the 5 million, go to business.
Yeah.
Take the other 10 million.
Another 5 million.
Okay, take the other 5 million.
Yeah.
You do long-term investments, treasury bills, bonds, property, whatever you are doing. And then also have these small businesses that can pay you on a weekly or monthly basis.
Yeah.
So and then you can try and do the best of both worlds, because while you're having these long-term investments, this money in fixed accounts and what you have your business that you are trying to do, and then you can see. So if this does not happen, then eventually once this
backup plan.
Yes, you have a backup plan.
But here is the trick. Who told you the business will succeed? You know why it's tough? When you invest your money in business, for example, if you take $5 million or rands and you're going to invest in the business, then to manage 5 million investments, you're going to need employees. You're going to need minds that must be on salary. Now, if anything goes wrong and you lose, you are not likely to only lose the 5 million. Why do you hear that companies go bankrupt and are indebted? You know where the debt comes from? Because when you have employees, you're renting a space, all of these things. But if for any reason the business does not go the way you plan, you can easily go into minus. That means the one you thought you save is not safe. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. The emotional skill, the mental toughness. And to take. So I advise to anyone, you get the pension. You make a mistake to carry your pension money and go start a business that you have been an employee all your life. You may even be a marketer as an employee. You are not because an entrepreneur embodies all the department in a company.
But Pastor, I have
Yeah.
a quick question. These skills that you're talking about, is it inherited? Is it self-taught skills, or is it something that you can be that they are teaching you in school, or is it from varsity, or do you learn from those around you?
It's definitely not taught from school or varsity or those things. Otherwise, we'd probably all be doing it. No,
But then at school, we are being told to budget.
But okay, but if you look at it in real life, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, in real life, how many professors are millionaires?
Almost zero.
Because what they are teaching you is not practicable. No, it's true. It's not practical. You see, I can tell you that ABCD will make you a millionaire, and that is the textbook. But to be a millionaire, when you get on the streets, you find out that ABCD doesn't work. That's why I say that you see the skill to be a business person is a whole different set of skill. Why? If you're going to go into business, you're going to have people skill. You need to know sales, right? It's not just about products. You have products, you know people skill, you have selling skill or marketing skill, you management skill, you everything. Because as an entrepreneur, you must know. You cannot say, well, I don't know anything about accounting. My accountants do the job. They'll rob you. You must know something. But this thing now, you cannot just wake up one day and have all this skill. That's why I say like the right thing to do is keep the money aside, go to the streets, learn business like you don't have money. Are you following me? Get rejected many times like you have nothing. If you master it, by the time you bring the money in, you're not likely to lose it. But it's a big mistake to get your money and say, well, because I was a CEO, for example, of MTC, I can start my own telecommunications company. Don't forget that when you start, MTC will try to close it. You talk to them? Yeah, because whatever area it is you are going to go into in business today, there are people who are already doing something about it. And they're not just going to wait for it. So, there's a new kid on the block. It's fine. It's your turn. They're trying to knock you out. You see? So that's why I said it takes a whole new set of skill to be a business person. You see? So the safest thing that you can do is to keep that money in an investment. Let those who know how to do that particular investment, let them work on it and give you whatever they can give you on that money first while you're straightening yourself out on the path that you want to go. If I give you for this 10 million we're talking about, it's like for instance, it's like me giving you a plane. You are not the pilots. You can say, well, I drive my car, so this is my plane, I can fly it. We already can prophesy what is going to happen to you. Did you do something, right? We can already tell what's going to happen to you. That the plane is yours doesn't mean you can manage it.
But in that, the first thing when you receive that windfall, before anything and everything, as much as possible, don't let your family, your relatives, and your don't let
Anybody
anyone know.
That's another big key. Another big key is when you have that kind of opportunity. Another big key is act like nothing has happened. You know why? Because once people know you have money, as I'm talking to them, there are people who are driving skills or strategies on how to defraud someone, either legally or illegally.
They have mastered the skill.
Think about, for example, your brother knows that you got the $10 million. All right. They are going to come, whether it's emotional blackmail, whatever blackmail, but you must give something. You know what I'm saying, right? So I think that's very profound. One of the other things you can do is don't talk about it or tell anybody about it. You see, act, and that's another big problem. Why a discussion like this is very important, because some people are not informed. You just feel like, man, I got this money now, I want to show up. And the moment you want to do that, everybody is coming after you. From the government, trust me, from the government to the common man on the streets. Everybody wants a share of what they know that you have.
I think, Pastor, that is where this thing of mental maturity and emotional intelligence comes in.
Yeah.
Because you have been staying in Havana for far too long. You have been putting too long. Now you have a 10 million. You so desperately want to show those that have been doubting you, those that have been looking down on you. You just want to show them that you are a person. Yeah. But that's when you must really sit down and say, but
you know something, eh? You can tell that you are going to be rich for life if you can get 10 million and still be normal for 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because I think the madness of going crazy and so on, I think that is the way I look at it, that is natural in every single man.
Yeah.
The question is, what do you need to become in order to evolve beyond that? But I think from what I was hearing earlier, one idea was going into business, another being investing. And Pastor Koshenazan was mentioning you need to be aware of these things. You need to learn of these things. Yeah. So I guess one thing one can do right now while waiting for this 10 million windfall is think, okay, I'm an employee, or I am here, or I'm in this position, and if I were to receive this, I intend to invest, or I intend to do business, or I intend to. But now, what can I do to get myself right now
for such opportunities?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you start now. So if you're thinking of becoming a business person, while you are now employed, have a business on the side. Get used to the emotions. When you lose money, I feel up to you, right? Yeah, get used to the emotions, the drive, what it takes to succeed in business. Get used to it now, so that when you have that opportunity, it's just a matter of amplifying.
And that's also another thing. You need to do thorough research on the type of business that you are doing, because currently most of us might be thinking property because the value of asset, it just keeps on appreciating. So you will be like, if I buy this within the next 10 years, I can always sell this product. In Namibia, there is businesses where you are guaranteed success, but we are not privy of those things, because a select few individuals know of these things. Come to think of it, when this story of the fishing quotas or fishing rights came out, people were like, oh, so since independence, people have been receiving fishing quotas.
Yeah.
Now for you to go and Google first, what are fishing quotas?
Yeah. In 21st century.
In 21st century. So there are really businesses, there's really business ideas, or there are gaps in the market now where, like, if you really do thorough research, you can make money instantly.
So what we are actually, all of us are saying is that now that you don't have money is when you are supposed to know about them. Do you understand what I'm saying? For example, you said fishing quota. You cannot wait till the month where they said submit to know what it takes to apply for a fishing quota. You'll be late, right? So now you just want to know, okay, suppose I want to apply for a fishing quota, what should I do? What do I need? You see, this is when you do it, so that when the opportunity comes, you are already prepared.
Exactly, Pastor. You know, couple of these business guys, when this green hydrogen thing came about, you know what they already did? They started to sell their properties. Yeah. They have money readily available to invest in green hydrogen.
Yeah. But you cannot invest in something you don't know.
Exactly.
No, it's true. You can't invest in something you are not really sure of. And so for me, I advocate that now, like Apollo said, now that you are an employee and your salary is not a lot, it's the right time to start experimenting what you would do if you have opportunity. Start experimenting. If you want to go into, if business is your passion, don't wait till you get 10 million to say I'm a businessman. Start now with the $50 or $1,000 you can start, right? Start doing some, lose the money. See how you feel about losing money.
Start learning right now how to handle people that aren't paying.
Yes, start learning how to relate. Because you see, in business, you know, when you're working for someone, if they reject you, no problem. Right? You can even decide not to even talk to anybody and you'll still be paid. Especially if you're working for the government. But when you start your own business, you will talk to somebody you don't like. Especially if they have a prospect of buying or patronizing you. You will talk to them. You see, like I said, roll off your sleeve. You'll be ready to do the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you have an employee who have a very nasty attitude, but that employee, though his attitude is not good, but that guy have the skill that you need. Are you going to fire him? I feel upset to you, right? Yeah. So you must know how to maneuver, how to relate with people, and separate their skill from their attitude.
Exactly.
So, of course, your attitude may not take you up, but right now I need your skill till I can replace you. It's all skill. You know, if you are not, you say me, I don't. If you show me attitude, we'll part ways. You will not succeed in business.
But Buster, quick question.
Yeah.
So with this money, how does one stay disciplined? How don't you? What do you do not to get carried away? Because the first thing that people have this money or you receive this money, it's like I'm not. Because people will not go to church for the Holy Spirit or the Spirit of the pastor or a senior counselor, whoever to talk to them. So on an individual basis, how does one stay disciplined?
But it's already easy. It's already easy by telling how your mood changes when your salary comes. Those little emotional fluctuation that you see with your monthly income is already a pointer to the kind of person you are.
Thank you, Pastor. I've been wanting to say we tend to focus too much on this money or whatever, but we don't analyze our current psychologies and behaviors and thoughts around little money. We only will remember the $1 million lottery, but we won't remember the 1,000 and how we chopped that.
What to do with
it's the same mannerisms that will come out when that windfall
comes. Your current behavior, your current actions will determine how you will chop the 10 million.
All that the 10 million will do is just to amplify who you already are.
Because the question is, my friend, if you were not disciplined today, where is this discipline going to come tomorrow?
It will not jump, of course. It will not jump on you. Right? It's a caution. Like, for example, like you said, with what you did, some people cannot account for what they do with their $10,000 or $1,000. You will not be able to account for $1 million. Trust me. So how you know is look at our cities. 25th to 31st of the month, the city is alive. What change? Money is coming. I'm telling you the truth. You walk through, let's say it's Friday and it's end of the month. Try to drive through town. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It everywhere is buzzing.
I have a question on that. Why does it feel like we are in such a rush to finish our money between the 26th?
It's because of that emotional intelligence we're talking about. We are still slaves of money. One of the reasons why many people don't have money is because they are not in control of money. Money is in control of them. And you are not supposed to master, or you're not supposed to have anything that masters you.
But Pastor, was it also not this thing they call salary, this 31-day cycle that they introduced to keep us working until we are 60 years old?
Yeah.
So that they know that, you know what they do? They talk about a gross salary and a basic and a net salary, whatever. So what they are doing, they already work out this gross. They can even pay you that money, but they put it in a way that you have to come back. So that money is paid to in a portion for you to be coming back. And most of these companies and institutions, and they know the cost of living, and they know that currently Windhoek is one of the highest places to live in.
Probably in Africa or even in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But most people's salaries are not sufficient for them to carry them through the month or to maintain or to meet their basic needs. So this person has been waiting 31 days.
Yeah.
and the money reports on the phone.
Yeah.
He's going to queue up.
No, but you see, that's one of the reasons why this podcast is very important, or why these videos we're doing is very important. You see, the system that we have right now, including the life that we're living right now, have been designed by some people, right? And the only way that you can become successful outside of that design is to have planned and design your own life, right? Like you said, somebody said that the employers pay employees enough salary, right, to keep them employed. While the employees, on the other hand, work hard enough, right, to keep their job. Both people don't like themselves. Are you following me? So it's a system. So if you want to be rich, at some point you must rebel against that system. And that's what we're talking about. Developing that emotional maturity, intelligence, to not be moved by physical things. For example, the salaries we're talking about now. Some people earn that salary for 10 years, and after 10 years became multi-millionaires. Build something massive now for themselves. Once an employee, how did they do it? They exercise some control on themselves at some point. Right? So we are all here now. I don't have to, for example.
But Pastor, just quickly.
Yeah.
Most of these people are also people who do people that work with their hands, like mechanics or bricklayers or whatever. So while you are employed for that company, you already have an idea what to do. You try to fix cars outside. You fix cars outside. Once this windfall comes, what are you gonna do? You already have 3 or 4 customers, and then you can resign, take a couple of these clients, and then you can open a garage somewhere and you can continue. But now certain of these skills also comes, like, let me take a bank teller, for example. He's getting on average he can get between 11 and 13,000 or whatever. This person cannot go and do telling at home. But for the other guy who did vocational training, it is easier for him.
Yeah.
So he has to go in a certain direction if he really wants to rely on his hands to make that extra income, or if he really wants to resign.
But I've noticed why most people who were mechanics somewhere, when they resign and start their own shop, they don't eventually get to be rich like where they came from. Have you noticed why? You know why?
Why?
Because all they had was one skill.
How to fix cars.
How to fix cars. There is a business skill and money management skill, accounting skill, marketing skill that makes a business function that they don't have. Think about it. A footballer is a good footballer. He have the skill. Why does he need a manager?
Oh,
Think of a musician. He is a celebrity musician.
He needs a producer.
Not the producer, but why does he need a manager?
I know. I just want to be creative. I don't have time for the booking venues and
Even if you have time for
everything.
it, if you are not a business person, you are not a business person. The job of the manager is to secure the business, negotiate the deals. Your job is to show up.
He secures the venues,
All of those things.
pays the deposit,
All
gets
of those things.
sponsors.
Your own is focus on your skill. Once the show is set up, deliver.
Then you go home.
And you go home. Now, of course, the manager may not earn as much as you are earning, but you need it. You know what I'm trying to say with that is that business takes more than a skill, one skill.
So in short, Pastor is saying you might have a certain skill set, but without the other things, you will never make it.
You can't succeed in business.
It's basically saying you need to be a very well-rounded individual.
That's it.
And the thing is, I have come to see, I understand this whole rebelling idea against the system. I have come to see that this whole idea, this employment and rat cycle, it's to almost numb one's brain to prevent them from thinking, and to just become comfortable with just now whatever that one skill set you might have studied or worked on is. But yeah, when you start working on the other side, when you try to, do a little bit of business, yeah, you need to grow in a lot of areas, in a lot of things.
Yeah. There are three major areas that human beings need to be free to actually be a full human being, complete functional human being. Three major areas. And those three major areas are the areas that your employment makes sure you don't attend to. That's what I'm talking about, rebelling against the system. For example, the first area you must request.
Yes.
Yeah,
I try and just
you
get
can.
them off the top of.
Yeah.
I wonder if one might be time
freedom, right? So for you to really be a full functional human being, you need to be free in your time, with your time. Meaning that you are the one to decide when you wake up, where you want to go. You must be able to determine that. If you can't determine that, you are not a free person. If you are an employee right now, I bet you are not free.
Hence my point, Pastor.
Tomorrow you must be somewhere.
Hence my point, Pastor, of resigning.
No, that's very important. Yes, the second part area you need to be free.
I'm not sure, but maybe thinking.
No, in its location. You have to be free in terms of where you are per time. You see, if you are not free to be anywhere that you want to be per time, you are not free.
So if I must make it to the soccer field 3 o'clock, if whatever is keeping me from reaching there, I'm not free.
Yeah. For example, tomorrow, 8 a.m., everybody who know you can predict where you will be. You should not.
Yeah, you're shackled there. You're shackled there 8 o'clock, huh?
Yeah, you must be there, right?
8 o'clock, you must already be on the premises.
That means you are not free. When you are free, 8 o'clock tomorrow, you could decide to be on your way to Dubai. That's a free man. You can decide, I want to sleep tomorrow. I'm tired. Only a free man can do that. You see it? And the third area, which is actually the one that will help you to achieve these two levels of freedom, is financial freedom. Once you are financially free, then you live life on your own terms.
Pastor, how much money do you need to be financially free or to be financially independent?
It's relative. When I mean relative, it depends on individual to individual, right? The thing is this: the amount of money that I may need to be free financially may not be the amount of money you need. Are you following me?
Yes.
So every individual must define for himself how much it will take to sponsor the life you want to live to be a free man. Because only when you are free can you really think freely.
Okay, but then average Namibian, more or less.
No, like there is a number that it's like been scientifically done. So on Google we can literally find what it is, but that would be for America, and then we just probably.
Okay,
but there is a number.
The nugget that I'm busy working with every day in the month of September. If you read those nuggets, you're going to have an idea. I've already discussed about how much a man needs to be free. When a man is free, when he's come to a point in his life where he no longer have to worry about money. You have no worry, no financial stress. That's when you are free. It may take 5 million, may take 10 million, may take 20, may take 1. But it's you that know when you have arrived at that position. Right? Some people have $1 billion and they're broke. They feel broke. Huh? 1 billion USD, they feel broke. Right?
Yeah.
And some people are looking just for only just $1 million. So it's relative.
Yes, someone is working hard to get 100,000, but this other person, the 100,000 is the minimum.
It's spent in a day.
Yes.
So you must define for yourself what it takes for you to feel the sense of freedom. Because you see, to be honest with you, if you are not financially free, you cannot be free with your time, and you cannot be free with your location. And what that kind of means is that you are not a fully functional human being. You may say you are free, we have independence. It's just a political statement. only the man that is economically free is truly free. If you are here now, you may have a colleague you don't, in fact, you know they don't like you in the office. People hate you, they talk about you, they are working to pull you down, but tomorrow you are going there. Did you say?
But Pastor also, so all these things that you've just mentioned, but mentally also you have to be in a state, because once you are mentally also, how should I put it? Once you are mentally free or ready, or you are ready to expect these type of things, then only can you execute whatever you are planning accordingly. Because it might be that if you are mentally messed up, or you don't know from right to wrong, or when to stop, or you are ill-mannered or ill-disciplined, you can receive this money, but it will just be a thing of you squandering this money.
Yes, because the system that you are used to have been designed in a way that you are not supposed to keep what you get. For example, what you said earlier on, end of the month you get paid. The people who pay you, collaboration with the bank, send you a message to tell you that you qualify for a car. This is it, and they tell you, no, you qualify for a house. You qualify to this amount for a house. You qualify for this amount for a car, right? And then they tell you, with this salary, you can get a loan, get furnitures, you can get this, you get this, and then you take the advice. You take the house, you take the car, you take the clothes, you take the furnitures. What has happened? You have become more trapped.
And the banks have mastered this skill of they know when to send this text message.
Yes.
For example, people from the 25 that got paid on Friday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is Tuesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. They will send these notifications to say you qualify for a personal loan of this. Yes. The only thing that we need is your latest pay slip.
All the shop also send you your promo when? Towards the end of the month. They say we are running from 29 to the 5th. Why? Because that's where people have money, right? So you can see that the system has been designed to make sure you don't have anything. So when you get that 10 million, all that happens is just to amplify who you already are. The man who don't have the discipline to invest $5 or invest 5 rand or 100 rand, we will not have the discipline to invest 10 million. Something in you will tell you that 10 million is a lot, you can never finish.
But Pastor, how do you get that thing in you? That thing of wanting to do something, that thing of wanting to invest, that thing of wanting to make more from this opportunity that is presented itself.
That's one of the reasons why I've been preaching. Like I've been sharing these things, hitting it so hard. You know why? Because the whole idea, like if you look at the message of the gospel, it says repent. To repent means to change course. It means you go in this way, and now that you are hearing this new truth, don't continue going that way. Change course. So the first thing you do is this. For example, if you look at the cars people bought, first and foremost, ask yourself a question. Why did you buy the car? Most people many don't know why. And for those who have idea, car for them was a thing of a status. And if your car is attached to your self-image, you know what happens? As soon as you feel pain for that one, you upgrade. But if the purpose of the car was for movement, then you will not have spent that much money. Are you following to you, right? So if you want to address that issue, to rebel against the system, the first thing that you can change is yourself. And trust me, like if you want changes in life, forget about people. Don't forget about the bank. That's their business, right? They are there to make money. Don't worry about the bank. Don't worry about the different stores that are sending promos. Focus on yourself. When you change, everything around you will change. See, once you change and put the discipline in yourself, everything changes. It's like somebody want to lose weight, right? You don't need to say, okay, fight your body. Of course, going to the gym is good, but fundamentally, change your diet. Do you say that?
It's about the foundation.
It's tough to leave fried chicken to chewing carrots. It's tough. You stop saying to leave your beer that you like, that is giving you pot belly. No, it's true. To leave the beer, to start drinking water, it's tough. But you will, if you want the result, you will have to discipline yourself. It's okay. I enjoy this life, but because of the new person that I want to be, this is what I must go through.
Transformation.
How long does it take to be a millionaire?
Sorry, the question was?
How long does it take to be a millionaire? Not long. Depend on what you can, how much money you can afford to stick to part with in a month. Not spend, invested. If you can part with $20,000 per month, for instance, 20,000 rand per month, in 3 years you'll be a millionaire. 36 months.
If your salary is 20,000,
No, if you can part.
oh, you can pay. Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, in 3 months. I mean, if your salary is 20,000, in 3 years you will have earned $1 million somebody. No, you won't end. But if
720,000.
that's what
just
you earn.
without interest.
That's what you earn. But if you can part with it, why I say that is because there are different investment vehicles. That if you can part with $20,000 invested in 3 years, you'll be a millionaire.
Yes.
You see, the same thing applies.
Interest upon interest.
Of course, with interest, compounded. If you can part with $5,000 or rands, 15 years, invested, compound, 15 years. In 15 years, you have not 1 million, you have close to 2 million, over $2 million rands. If you can do 10, you're looking at maybe somewhere in 10 years, just in 10 years, you have maybe around 1.7 million somewhere there, compounded. So it is not, even if it's 2.5, of course, the lower the amount, the longer the time. The higher the amount, the shorter the time. So now imagine somebody who earned $50,000 or rands, who say, well, I love the idea of being a millionaire. I can sacrifice and manage whatever is left after I have invested $20,000 just for 3 years.
But Pastor, people who are earning 50,000,
Yeah,
means they are either in a senior position at work,
yeah,
or they are doing business. So for you to be earning that much, it means like you have to spend 7 to 9 years, probably more than 4 years at varsity.
Yeah.
If you add with the 12 years of the school,
yeah.
by the time you are earning that 50,000, the people around you, or behind you, or your age mates or whatever, they are already at a certain level. So people don't tend to want to do that. It's like you need a smartphone. There's a credit card. There's a personal loan. There's a home loan.
But that's the problem of this discussion, right? The mentality that have kept you in bondage. The smartphone you are buying, who is calling you? Because when I'm talking about sacrifice, think about, it's not even a long time. 3 years of dishing out a 20,000 invested in a maybe 10% return on investment, or 12, I don't know, in one investment vehicle for 3 years. So you mean you can use a dumb phone for 3 years? After the 3 years, you are a registered millionaire. And you know what happens once you have $1 million? Your wealth begins to multiply. You can still be doing that job you're doing. After the 3 years, spend the entire 50,000 if you want to. Spend it as you want to spend. But you already now have what you call another stream of income. This 1 million have become your new employee.
Yes,
that is producing more money for you.
I read that somewhere, Pastor, where the guy was saying it's only difficult to make the first million.
Yes.
After that, it's easy.
Once you have made it,
only the first one.
That 1 million itself can multiply itself many times over. Like you said earlier on, that if you get 10 million, you put it in an account. From the return alone is 100,000. So that money is the one now making. Just imagine that means in a year to be like 1.2 million.
Yes. So,
yes. So that's massive.
So you can even take from that money, pay yourself whatever salary you are earning times 2, and the rest of the money you can reinvest.
Let it continue to compound. It's like, for example, buying a house. Do you know that if you can discipline yourself, because to qualify for certain kind of houses, you must have certain level of income, right? Imagine if you are given a home loan of 2.5 million, your installment is going to be somewhere around about 18 to 20 something $1,000, right?
Yeah.
That means you are able to keep $20,000 aside. Why don't you rent your house for just 5 years? In 5 years' time, you will have close to $2 million or rents. You invest that 2 million, and then when you're going to buy a house, you buy a house that they return on this 2 million, because on the 2 million, monthly income is going to be around about 20,000 profit on the 2 million. So the 20,000 you're going to get from this 2 million will pay for the loan, the home loan. So at the time you finish paying for the home loan, the house is yours, the money is yours. You are still working. That's how people become wealthy. You see? But what the system does is they'll rather you pay for the loan from your pocket.
I've also seen where people actually pledge this money.
Yeah.
Where you go to the bank of your 10 million.
Yes.
Say, you put this money for me in this type of investment.
Yes.
My money is there. My money is earning interest. Give me a loan on this 10 million.
Yes.
I'm going to take this 10 million, this loan of 10 million. You go out there, you make business, you pay that loan with its interest.
The profit from here is
Yes.
just the bank that is doing the transfer.
Yes.
The transfer from here, your investment to the loan account, is the bank.
Yes. Your 10 million is there, earning interest, fixed, secured, pledge.
Yeah.
After you are done paying this 10 million, you have whatever business you are doing, plus your 10 million, plus the interest that you received during that duration.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very simple no-brainer. Once you know it, just give yourself, like I said, if you are what's the word? There's a word for. Okay, forget. When I remember, I'll tell you. But if you really want to get it faster, the faster you want to go, it's like when you're driving a car, right? The faster you want to arrive in a Chekati, the harder you must pound the car, right? The harder you throttle, the faster it goes. The same thing.
Exactly, because once you mess up, you know that you gave your 10 million as security.
Yeah.
Then you are going to lose that money.
Yeah.
So you will not mess up.
You will not mess up.
So this will cause you, actually, it will motivate you to work harder.
Especially if the business you want to go into is real estate, because it's a bit safer, right? Yeah, it's a bit safer. In the worst case scenario, you can still get your money back.
Yes.
Right? You bet this money, pledge it, get the loan, buy all these rental properties, people are renting the money. I said wealth is easy, but you must attain to a certain level before you begin to scale. But to get to that level, that's where people have a problem. And that is where the sacrifice was coming.
Is it also not a thing of that aspiration, you aspiring to be a millionaire, you wanting to have your own things?
Yeah.
I think before you start to plan that feeling, the fact that you want to achieve something or be something or the fact that you want to be a millionaire, that feeling must first be inside you.
Yes. When I said something earlier on, and I said the business person and an employee look alike, they probably wear the same blue jeans, but they are not the same people. Why? The software that is in this businessman, the employee doesn't have. The same is true. When a millionaire sit down here, and someone who is not a millionaire sit down there, you're looking at them. They are two human beings looking at you. They are not the same. There is something that is significantly different about the two of them. You know why? To be a millionaire, if you didn't inherit the money, at some point you have sacrificed something. That sacrifice is what distinguishes you from the person next to you. Which the person probably may not. How do you explain it? Two employees working the same job, they started with the same salary. Eventually, one became a multi-millionaire, the other one died an employee. What happened? It's that thing.
One was eager.
It's that thing.
The same one was eager. Is it really a feeling, though? I mean, Walter's mentioning sacrifice. Sacrifice is more an action. It's not I feel like becoming successful, and so I'm going. That feeling is not going to make you sacrifice.
It's when you have sacrifice.
But doesn't it start with the feeling and then you go and sacrifice something?
It starts with the passion.
It starts with the passion.
Just passion.
So
knowledge of what you want and the passion to get it.
But then also, I really think it's really just a set few actions.
Yeah.
Actions is the thing.
Oh, of course.
And I feel like it's very easy for us to know what those actions should be. We just don't do
I
it.
just give example of to become a billionaire. I'm
Yes,
talking now. Somebody
yes,
is watching
yes.
me who can afford to do this thing I just said, but he's not doing it. Listen, you will not listen. As simple as R1 million is,
Mhm.
you will not know the power until you have it. The possibilities that your life will be exposed to. You know, when you have actually Jesus said something in the Bible that I think is very nice. He says, the man who have more will be given to him. And you see, the man who doesn't have, the little he has will be taken from him. You can be angry, but it's a principle. Like we just said there, imagine you got 10 million rands, right? And you are not even doing anything. Okay, you resign. You are not working anymore. You are no longer killing yourself trying to get to office. You resign. But that 10 million rand that you have, that is in the bank, you're doing nothing. But you are now richer. That's those who are working and killing themselves to get the job done. Are you following me?
Yeah.
And so supposing, okay, all you are just taking from that monthly income is just 50,000, which is a high pay. And the remaining 50,000 is going back on the 10 million.
on the million.
So at the end of the year, the whole year you had good salary. Now your 10 million is no longer 10 million, it's now 10.6 million. By the following year now, that money now is not going to get 100,000. It's going to get maybe like 100 and something thousand, maybe 100 and 12,000 or 100. I don't know, but something in that vicinity, right? So you see what happens is that you find yourself getting richer and not doing more.
Basically,
Why? Because you have the first initial one.
it's like you become a magnet.
You become a magnet. So that's why I tell people, like, if you really are smart, those early years you will sacrifice. Now you admire Facebook, you admire Amazon. Do you know how much work, how much sacrifice those guys made when nobody knew them? At the time you knew them, their money now is multiplying. It's like they are becoming richer. They are the richest people in the world. You know why? Before they made that first 1 million, it took sacrifice untold. I have to you. It's the same thing that if you are willing as an employee, depending on where you are, I tell you, like, it doesn't. What does it cost you to eat, budget to stay in Havana with your $30,000 salary? You're staying in Havana. You know that's why I say that a millionaire is far different from somebody who is not a millionaire. Because you can really like, no, there was a time I was earning $50,000. I live in Havana. People can relate to, no, forget, but it was your reality. So why did you live in Havana? Because of the life I'm not living. I saw me living this life and I wanted to get to it. So I sacrificed some years to stay in Havana with this much money, driving a Toyota, just to put the money together to get to a threshold. It's easy. It's easy.
Brother, you look shocked. You look like you want to jump in. What's on your mind?
It's I have to do it at some point. Do you know what it is like for you, for example, to have a $500,000 in your account and be hungry? I say, well, but I don't have cash. Why? This 500,000 is invested.
An investment in your money.
That is sacrifice. To have this much and live like you have nothing. And then you get to a point, you're not a millionaire, and somebody see you with a wristwatch and like, I want to buy that wristwatch. But he doesn't know that wristwatch you are buying is from profit on the profits. This is what I'm saying. It's from the interest on the interest of your investment. Meaning when you buy that wristwatch, nothing changes.
There's levels to this.
Yeah. You see, so it is so trust me. And we're talking about what to do with money, right? If you don't now to rebel against the system, you will be a victim all your life. But if you can rebel now, trust me, and you have an account balance of 1 million, the possibility that you'll be poor again in this life is close to zero. You know why? That 1 million you have, you know how you got it.
And
Yeah.
yes, and also it can be a basis or a starting point to create generational wealth.
Of course.
Because now that you've made it, you are gonna help and advise your kids,
Yeah.
then your relatives.
With certain level of confidence, because you've done it. You know it works.
Yeah. And then it will be something of, when we look at this family,
Yeah.
one is a businessman, one is because it started with one individual.
Yeah. And you know how, this is the way it works. For example, you are learning some of the things I'm talking about. Probably you are hearing at this age, right? I heard about this when I was 35 years, when I was 40 years old. I did it with the time that I have on earth, and I have this result. Now imagine teaching this thing now to your children who are just teenagers. This is what I'm saying. By the time they will be 40 years, they'll be multi-millionaires. And you know what? If you start early, you will not need to sacrifice much. For example, like I said, if you start now, maybe if somebody is 20 years old and start investing 2.5, you can do the math. By the 40th birthday, he'll be a multi-millionaire. Not one, multi-millionaire. Right? But his advantage is time. But it is that, and one of the things I think you can give your children is telling them what has worked, especially positively. You can tell that your generation for life will be wealthy.
So in short, to create generational wealth, you have to give up the short-time pleasures for a long-time gain.
Yes.
So you can also economically free those that are coming after you, and also your close.
Think about what we've discussed, right? You've got this 10 million invested. You are taking return on that money. You've taken, you've pledged that money, gotten a loan, build all these properties all over the place. You are not going to go to heaven with all these things. You have built wealth for generation that is coming. You see, so when their time comes, apart from them having all these houses, that 10 million is multiplying. You see, so all you do now when you're about to, leave the world is put a will in place. You have built it. You can even put a will in such a way that this house property will never be sold. The wealth remain in your family.
Or like the people are doing it nowadays. A trust and a will, and register a business, put it in a trust, let the trust own the will, or let the will
take care of the children.
Yeah,
so,
something like that.
If you look, you hear of O&L celebrating 100 years of existence. 100 years.
Carlos.
Are you following me? 1 century. Then you talk about mega builds. How do you think these guys do this thing? Because they understand what it takes, and they teach it from generation to generation. What we are doing here, what most people are doing is, they understand their job. The day you leave that job, you can't transfer it to your children. If you like, be the top executive. There's no transferring.
And it's like these guys
because it's not yours.
And Pastor, it's like these guys it's like this new business development and business idea, they're up to date with this, because Salt Brewery took money, go into green hydrogen. What is the next big thing? Green hydrogen.
Yes.
They knew when to sell that business, and what to do with the money.
That's the way it works. Like once you get to a certain threshold financially, the money just multiply. It keep multiplying. It's not because you actually want it, but that's the way it works. See, it is the same person you will see that is already rich, that is in everything. Every new thing, it is. You will have to, but now this one is new. Give it to the poor. It's not true.
Yes, and once you see these guys things are being published, he has shares in this bank. He has shares
already gone.
But you ask, but these are competitors on the same.
There's some corruption involved in those ones, the ones that we know.
No, but even if there's corruption, at some point, whoever is going to be part of that game must have sacrificed something at the initial stage. Trust me. And my own talk and discussion here is that you should focus on that initial sacrifice. What will it cost you to wear the same clothes for a year or for 6 months? Just make sure it's clean. No, no, no.
No, but
When I'm saying the same clothes now, I'm
yeah.
not trying to say that it's just one shirt. If you've bought, for example, you've bought maybe a couple of clothes, say, okay, I'm going to use this for the next 6 months. All this combination, 6 months. So in the next 6 months, no shopping.
Yeah.
You see?
I actually have an encouragement or an agreement with that. The reason why we don't want to do it is because of other people, to impress other people. We want to get what other people have. But then the funny thing is, there's a saying that most people don't know why they wake up and go to work every day,
but
why they buy the things that they do. Now, if you go and ask people, why do you go to work? Most of them don't know.
Yeah.
Or they'll tell you that's because that's what the next person is doing, or that's what I was told as growing up. So that system, when you're in that thinking, hey, my friend, you will always be enslaved.
That is what you're saying.
Yeah.
The system that you didn't create. You are just a victim of somebody else's creation.
And the funny thing is, on the flip side,
Yeah.
those 3 years or 4 years after sacrificing, after making those millions, or whatever, you can actually now buy clothes every day if you want.
If you want. If I those
And
who,
no more to impress people, huh?
Yeah,
Just
but-
what you need.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we will not
Yes.
remember what you were wearing. You will remember what you are currently wearing. So you
right
still,
now, tell me,
Yes.
how many people do you know the kind of clothes they were wearing 5 years ago? Even the fashion trend, the fashion style have changed. You know something? There were people who thought that if I didn't wear that trending clothes 5 years ago, now if you wear the same clothes, people look at you like a bush person. Like, where are you from? Kind of, So if people are wise, you will know that what I'm advocating for, it's not difficult, right? After that 5 years, whatever you want, you can get. But when you are getting it, you are still a free man. You see, because that's my major point here. Time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. If, for example, you have investment and business, you can go on holiday and still be doing business. The 10 million that is the source of this conversation today. If you have it in the bank, you are not the banker. You are not the one managing the money, right? If you want to tomorrow decide I want to become a farmer, you go to the farm. End of the month, the money that you want to come to your account will come. You know what I'm saying? So you are not afraid. If you are tired of Vinduk, you move to Swakop. There are billionaires. There are people in the world now who don't know what it's like to be in winter. When it's winter in their country, they're either on the boat in a yacht or who don't know what it means to be hot. When it's hot, they work from their yachts. The yacht is on the sea. So they'll spend 3 months in this country, 3 months in Monaco, another 3 months in Dubai, but their office is in the yacht. And they are private jet. If they need to be in Johannesburg tomorrow, they go to Johannesburg, they come back to the yacht. They are not location bound. These are free men.
I see it like Lewis Hamilton, who has houses
Everywhere.
in every country, the Formula One driver.
As for convenience, my friend.
Yeah, no, but you see, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not against you living your life.
Yes, but
All I just want is do it as a free man.
yes. But even if you're gonna use him as an example, Formula One, a white-dominated sport, black man from a poor background, eventually, somehow, he had to sacrifice something.
You cannot get there without heavy sacrifice. You know how much you see the soccer players. It's like Ronaldo. Do you know what it takes to be a Ronaldo? No, think about the work. Think about the work.
The publicity.
Not the publicity, the work, the training to sharpen the skill to the point that he got to that point. Do you know what it takes? When you are sleeping, the guy is drilling. 4 a.m. when you are still trying to turn on your bed, the guy is up. How do you feel with you? So it's the same thing with finances. can you sacrifice for a short time so that your life can be free forever? That's the point.
Most definitely.
You get to the point, like I said, okay, we're discussing last week or 2 weeks ago in my office, and I told you, every time here and there you hear there's a sale. There's a guy maybe somewhere who bought a house from the bank, 2.1 maybe 1.2 million. And he has paid maybe 700,000. He's lost his job. He's in the bank, maybe let's say 300,000. The bank want to repossess the house. And he knows that once the bank repossesses his house, he get nothing. So he's opting to sell the house for 500,000 just to get something. What's the value of the house? 1.2 million. He wants to sell it for 500,000. Why? He's owing the bank 300,000. So if you have $500,000, what happens? At the moment you pay the money and you collect the document, you have made $700,000 profits in a day. You can't if you don't have money. So what happened is that you have doubled the 500,000 in one day because you have it. That's what I'm saying. Sacrifice to have it. There's a gentleman who was selling, I think the Range Rover had a scratch or something like that, a bump somewhere there. A 2022 Range Rover was 450,000. 2022 Range Rover is about 2.3 million value, market value. It was sold for 450. I catch it.
That's crazy.
It is 450. So if you have a 450, decide to sell it for just assume you want to sell for 700,000, which is peanuts, right? For that kind of, you still make $250,000 on it. So if you look at it, once you can sacrifice and you have small financial intelligence, it's always a win. There are a lot of distress sales that goes on around us. There's a guy, for example, who probably the parent passed, they gave him a property, they are fighting, they don't want to see themselves, so they decide to sell the building. All those things are there. At times the bank repossess building. And if a bank repossess building, they don't sell it to make profit. They just sell it to recoup their money. And they sell building for a ridiculous amount. You know why you don't hear it? You may not even know that those things happen. You know why? Because once you don't have money, there are certain people you will not know. And to become richer, you have to be in a certain circle. And the major thing you are going to get in that circle is information. Yeah. Well, so thank you. Our time is up.
I know, I kept quiet at the end. Wisdom was talking.
So it showed there what Pastor was saying, like the money will also attract the right people, and you will continue
Pastor was
growing.
speaking there, my friend. Woo.
Yeah, it will. The money,
There's levels to this, huh?
Yeah, there's levels to this game.
There is.
We must continue this conversation.
Yeah, no, there is. There is. I'm telling you that it's so easy to become rich. So it's so easy. The arguments that people do, like, no, it's I don't know, it's very hard. I said the reason why it's like that is because you are talking to the wrong people. Talk to people who have walked the journey you are trying to walk and have results. Whatever they tell you, do it. You will have their results. The reason why the black community is poor, not because there's no wealth. Okay, there's one person here in this building who, when we're having a meeting, she wanted to buy a house, and the bank asked her to bring a certain percentage as a collateral amount, the police to get the loan for the house. But it was in December. They were to go on holiday, so the money was with the lawyer, and she decided, okay, we're going on holiday. The lawyer said, one of the member here said, okay, give me permission to invest this money for you, just for 1 month, so that in January now she can now put the money to the bank and get the loan to buy the house. They authorized the lawyer. The lawyer invested that money. In 30 days, he made $10,000 on the money.
In 30 days.
30 days. Now, obviously, that money is not a lot of money. It's not millions. It's maybe 100,000 or less than that, somewhere there. Invested in this Vinduku, 30 days. What is the difference between that person and the lawyer? The lawyer knows something that he doesn't know. Are you following me?
He knows something, or he knows someone,
He knows something she doesn't know.
or he knows there are those guys they call investment bankers.
Yes.
He knows one of those guys.
He knows something that the woman doesn't know. She just said, authorize me to invest the money on your behalf. She authorized 30 days, 10,000. She was on holiday. When she came back, she had become 10,000 richer. I full of Susie, right? So now imagine when you see people in the town driving big cars, Range Rovers, all those cars. At times you attempt to wonder, what do these guys do? And then you are wondering, I don't see them do anything different. It's because they have done the work. Now the work they've done is working. Once you've sacrificed and the money has come in, you can be playing games through the day. You call your friend, guys, let's go and play PS, PS5 or PS. So while you are playing PS, the money is working.
Yeah.
By the time you finish playing PS, your friends have become broker, you have become richer. But you have done your work. That's what I'm advocating for. Do the work. No matter where you are now, calculate how many years or how long you must sacrifice. Sacrifice, get to a level. Sacrifice is not forever. I think you know. No, you don't have to sacrifice all your life. It's just those initial days. Sacrifice. And somebody said, you qualify for this. So me, it's kind of funny. That means they already estimate what you are worth, so you qualify. But take what we are saying serious. You'll be amazed how easy, how quickly your life becomes powerful. I'm telling you what I know. Try what I tell you. Whatever you can do legally to get $1 million, do it. From the day you get $1 million, listen, you will have this. You can prove me wrong. There will be a literal shift in your head. It's like your brain. I don't know how to explain to anybody. It's like there's a brain surgery that takes place, and suddenly your mentality is changed. I don't know what it is that happened. I can't tell you.
But it's maybe because you start to act like a millionaire, you start to think like a millionaire.
No, once you have that $1 million, something changed in you to the point that from that point, all you can see is possibilities. It's true. It's you when you see a car, you're like, I can afford it. So you are no longer intimidated by things. Somebody passing Mercedes, it's nothing. You can buy it. From that point, something happened to your psyche. I can't explain it to you. I tell you, before you leave this world, there's some level you must attend to. Just trust me, you need to get to a level in your life before you leave this world. So what we are sharing, take it serious and see where you need to do your own sacrifice. Maybe yours is 3 years. Maybe you can even be 2 years. I mean, if you can do, yeah, it may be 2 years, maybe 5 years, but whatever number, start now. That's the point. If you're already in a hole, in a pit that you dug, you are owing, you have house loan, car loan, Fortune loan, Edgar loan, and all those, you are indebted everywhere. Here's my advice. Once you pay, don't dig more holes. Right? As soon as the car loan is paid, that money you were supposed to now, don't buy another one. Take that money and act like you are still paying car loan. See, and start investing that money. In another 5 years, you'll be amazed what can happen to you. Now, one of the painful things that can happen to you, if someone to come and call you and say, look, man, I want to relocate from this country. I want to go to Canada or go to the US. I got a house in Pioneers Park, or I got a house in Klein Coupe. Give me 500,000. And it's yours. That That is the worst, the most painful thing that can happen to you. For someone to ask you for a 500,000 and you can't come up with it. You can't buy a land for 500,000 in Kupe. Now you are given a house and you cannot come up with a 500,000. How can you forgive yourself? Because like you once had the opportunity. What if somebody bet with you? They look at you. You like to act like you're a rich man. You have nothing. I bet you if you bring 500,000 today, I'll give you 5 million. You know, people do funny things like that, right? But supposing you have the money. So that's why I'm talking about the windfalls. It happens. But don't think that you are going to be rich because you get 10 million. If you will be rich, when 10 million comes, it will already start showing with what you are doing with your 1,000, with your 10,000 now. When the 10 million comes, it's just coming to amplify who you already are. Money will not change you. If you have not changed, money will not change you. Somebody who womanize didn't start womanizing because you have money. You're already a womanizer. All that money does is that he has come to help you make it more effective.
Yeah, or
Look
more cooler.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now it's more cooler. So change is now or never. Now or never starts. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you again. We're coming, and I'm going to have this panel back again. We're coming back with another powerful discussion.
Were we that useful?